This is why you don't mess with women at work. This is the main reason. I understand the temptation, but don't. Play it safe. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You're trying to touch my breast, aren't you?
What can I say? I like the way you're put together. What do you say we go out on a date? Have some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Oh, let me get this over here. Sorry. Oh, there it is.
So we're reviewing this article, which proves this point that don't mess with women at work. And it's best to always rather do everything outside of work, outside of working hours, if possible. If you really want to mess with a colleague at work, then high risk, but do it outside of office hours, outside of office premises. So this article is talking about a man fired because of sexual harassment. Let's get to the article. Man who hugged, kissed colleague inside lift and said, "I've never done this to a white lady before," fired. Oh yeah, there's a racial aspect that I forgot to mention.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
I don't like talking about race. It's such a toxic topic. Unfortunately, there are times where race has to be mentioned and you have to discuss it. And this is one of them. But this is more of a man versus sexual harassment at work thing than race versus everything else. Please take that in mind. The article reads, the Labour Court has upheld the SA Institute of Chartered Accountants' decision to axe an employee who tickled a female colleague with his beard, gave her a bear hug and kisses. Hold up, what, brother? Tickled? How do you tickle a person with a beard? Was the dude that tall? Somebody needs to explain this to me. The article continues. Tandanani, a project manager, was found guilty of sexual harassment based on these acts he committed in the lift on October 6, 2017. This happened on the lift? South Africa doesn't have that many tall buildings at all. And it doesn't take that long from the top floor to the ground floor for a lift to, do its trip. He tickled, he hugged, and he kissed her all in the lift. How quick was this interaction, firstly? Or how long was it? Because the lift, that part just throws me off. How?
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
The article continues. The unexpected events that left the colleague, referred to as Miss S, feeling sexually violated, started with just a compliment of Umla on his newly groomed chin-strap beard. My guy, it's only a compliment. Why then proceed? So this is where I'm gonna mention the racial aspect. My guys, you're a black guy. She's a white woman. Black guy, white woman. South Africa. I don't need to say any more.
But that is a little white girl, and as a black man, no!
No! You do not get to play the race card today. Not with that.
Sorry I'm late. There was a little snowflake on the elevator, so I had to take the stairs.
Me too.
Careful, Dre. Someone's out there setting traps.
Sorry I'm late, boss. There's a little white girl in the elevator. Almost had me. I saw my freedom flash right before my eyes.
It's easy for you to take the blame. I'm just saying, it's the reality, people. It's the reality. Black men seems to always take the blame for many of the problems. Warranted or unwarranted, we take the blame. So, my guys, don't put yourself in those situations. And just for men generally, don't put yourself in situations like this with women. The article continues. She found Umla alone in an elevator at the South African Institute of Chartered Accountant Joburg workplace offices. Okay, that's not an article. And complimented him that his beard looked good on him. The conversation extended to Umla telling her that he used his beard to tickle and proceeded to demonstrate how he did this. Hold up. You proceed to demonstrate? This just doesn't make it. I'm sorry. This doesn't make sense, guys. Something's missing in the story. There's a lot of context missing here. I feel there's a lot of meat missing here. The demonstrations, the labor court found, included rubbing his bearded face against Miss S's face in a tickling manner. Okay, so she was shorter than him then. Giving her a bear hug and a kiss on her neck and face. Remember, this is all happening in a lift, people. How quick is all of this? Where she compliments him, he acknowledges the compliment, then tells her that he tickles people, then he proceeds to demonstrate, and then he kisses and hugs her all in the lift.
And no shaft.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to your shaft?
There's powerful niggardry at work here.
This article is poorly written in terms of storytelling and the facts given. It's very selective. So I'm very wary of all the details given here and how it's been, made to look.
Read, nigga, read!
The Commission of Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration was the first to confirm South African Institute of Chartered Accountants finding that Umla was guilty of sexual harassment and should be summarily dismissed. He has dragged the matter to the Labour Court in Bloemfontein to argue for unfair dismissal. So far, my guy, you look like a creep. You look like you overreached. Look, all in all, I don't think he did anything wrong. He did something inappropriate. I don't think he did something wrong to deserve to be fired, reprimanded, and reminded how to act appropriately at work. That I understand.
Having women work with men, right, is like having a grizzly bear work with salmon. Dipped in honey, now you dip the salmon in the honey, right? Grizzly bears, and the salmon get to walk through comfortable with honey and fish and good morning, grizzly bears. And the grizzly bears is like, hey, he can't even growl, like, what's up, fish? Oh my God, human resources. The grizzly bear just did grizzly bear stuff. So
the way it reads so far, it doesn't seem like he really wanted to do anything with her. He's just he was just weird. He was a weirdo. That was a weird thing to do. Judge E.T. heard that Umla told Miss S he, quote, had never done this to a white lady before, unquote. This was after tickling, hugging, and kissing her. Miss testified that the encounter left her shaken. While she initially left the building, she returned and reported the incident to her superior. She testified that she felt sexually violated and would never be able to work with Umla again if he were reinstated. That's why he was fired. I guess the company saw value in her as an employee more than Umla. Because believe you me, if Umla was a CEO, this would have been hush, 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 under the bell, under the table, things, blah, blah, blah. Or in if he was an asset to the company, definitely this guy would not be fired. Something would have been done outside the books. But because he is who he is and he's an idiot, he did the things that he's not supposed to do and act inappropriate at work. This is where he finds himself. And she said it's sexual. Tickling? Really, with a beard? It's weird. I agree, it is a weird thing. Take her with your beard. It's weird.
And there's cameras everywhere. You can't do like weird stuff behind her back. Like, why would it be disrespectful? I said, what's your name? Terrell. If I go, hey Terrell, we work together. And I go, Terrell, hey, do me a favor. Let me know when you're getting up to go to the bathroom so I can sniff your chair.
Like I said, there's a lot missing in the story that I'm questioning. This journalist who wrote this, terrible. Umla, who represented himself after pro bono groups and attorneys refused to assist him, submitted to court his actions in the lift were consolatory and not sexual. So you already have two opposing views. He's saying he's consoling her, she's saying it's sexual. A lady may be desperate, you can see it in her eyes, that she's desperate for such, warmth and a person really caring. Don't do it. At work, move on, walk away. So just say, lady, I'm gonna call security for you to look after you, okay? Okay, lady, I'm gonna call security. Hold on right there. Don't you touch her. Don't you dare console her. Even if you've known her for years, your colleague for years, don't do it. He said he hugged and kissed Miss S on the forehead after she told him she had been hurt in a relationship before. This is still happening in a lift? She told him her relationship story this just doesn't make sense. It's either poor writing from this journalist or so-called journalist, or this is one very fast interaction. I'm sorry, this is like Dragon Ball Z instant travel Goku son kind of stuff. Like, what the Umla said, he further told her, hey, I have never kissed a white lady before, it's gonna be alright. He testified that he saw Miss S when they were both driving out of the building and apologized for his white lady joke. Wait, what? What? You apologize for the white lady joke and not for the inappropriate touching? My guy, like, I'm trying to defend you here and you are not making it easy. According to Umla, her reply to the apology was, okay, no problem. Tandanani, please don't hug me again. I'm literally shaking. Something is going on here that is missing between what happened in the lift and why she's shaking. And why isn't her testimony quoted and we only noticing his side? The starting point in the matter, Judge E.T. said, was to question how one could take compliments on looks for an open invitation to hug and kiss. I agree with the judge on that. I really agree. Just so you getting a compliment, just say, thank you, move on with your life. Like, seriously, my guy, why are you then proceeding and escalating and doing things you shouldn't be doing?
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Normal and civilized citizens will ordinarily reply with a simple thank you and carry on with their lives, he said. Judge E.T. is right. Umla's actions were in line with the typical misogynistic, patriarchal alpha male. Okay, this is where, Judge, I have to come in and say,
shut the fuck up. Ooh, that one was good. Shut the fuck up. The core of what I'm getting at is that you are not a worthwhile person. You're not worth listening to. Everything you've said has been said before, more eloquently and more coherently.
Do you know what misogyny means, Judge E.T.? Misogyny means you hate women. You hate women. Hate. You idiots. Learn English. Hate. I doubt this guy hates women. I seriously doubt he hates women. As for being alpha,
slap me around and call me Susan.
I warned you, Susan.
This is where the article by the journalist is poorly constructed because I'm missing a lot of information. Maybe the judge is right by characterizing this guy who stupidly touched and tickled a woman at work because he maybe done more. There's a lot more missing here. There's a lot of context and I don't know. But based on what I've read, and this is the reason, Judge E.T., go muff yourself because clearly you and your mangina really need to be together. The second part of that sentence is just like, Judge, I think your mangina's throbbing. To say that this approach is perverse is indeed an understatement. How is this perverse? How is him saying he's consoling her, yet just because the woman says it's sexual, we take the woman's word over the dude? Can we not take both their words and go, listen here, Tandanani, you're not supposed to touch her that way. Bad boy, bad.
You tamed my monster.
Okay, just shut up, okay?
With your mouth.
Stop!
In 2 other places.
Okay.
In an order that would surprise you.
Enough!
Ass mouth badge.
Alright, that's it!
Is this worse than men who basically literally grope women with no consent and literally make the women feel victimized and really sexually harassed by, those men who make innuendos, sexual innuendos indicating I want to smash you at work, making her feel uncomfortable? Is that on the same level or worse than that? What this guy did is what? No, man, I totally disagree. Just on the first occasion that the incident took place, and based on the applicant's own version, this was without more sufficient to attract the severest of penalties, as the conduct in question clearly constitute sexual harassment in its most reprehensible form. This is why, guys, don't mess with women at work. This is where it goes wrong. I understand it's a high risk, high reward system. Where you playing that friend, that work husband, that work colleague role, thinking you're gonna smash, or whatever idea that you have in your head as to what you want out of your interaction with your female colleague, just don't.